As our country has a long, serious conversation about whether it was fair of AOC to call the camps at the border concentration camps, the Trump administration is in court trying to make them a bit more concentration-y, with the Trump administration arguing in front of a Ninth Circuit panel Tuesday that the government is not required to give soap or toothbrushes to children apprehended at the US-Mexico border and can have them sleep on concrete floors in frigid, overcrowded cells, despite a previous established settlement agreement that requires detainees be kept in safe and sanitary facilities. Now, thankfully, it seems like some of the judges on that panel are not currently buying the argument, with US Circuit Judge Marcia Barzon saying, "You're really going to stand up and tell us that being able to sleep isn't a question of safe and sanitary conditions?" And US Circuit Judge William Fletcher saying, "Are you arguing seriously that you do not read the agreement as requiring you to do anything other than what I just described? Cold all night long, lights on all night long, sleeping on concrete, and you've got an aluminum foil blanket. I find that inconceivable that the government would say that that is safe and sanitary."
130 million for that drone, that could buy just a lot of toothbrushes and toothpaste. But beyond that, walking it back, we are talking about children of people coming here for asylum because they have untenable conditions at home. And one of the things we are not doing is going to the root of that and spending any money of that. Instead, we, i.e. the Trump administration, is quibbling over the necessary basic human conditions that these children are put in. Yeah. We have so much money, and this is yet another incredibly mean, evil thing to fight for them.
Yeah, so now we gotta be fair and point out that this case originally arose about actions that started under the Obama administration.
The agreement that was established.
Yeah. No, the conditions as well. The agreement.
I know that's what led to the agreement originally back in 2017. But they are arguing about current conditions right now.
Yes, so those conditions existed under Obama as well. Now the Trump administration is saying we don't want to fix them. We don't agree with the agreement, and we don't want to provide safe and sanitary conditions or give you any indication of anything specific we're going to do to create safe and sanitary conditions. But this was a problem before. The Trump people are saying we like that it's a problem. We don't want to abide by the agreements, etc. So if you want to blame Trump, there is plenty to blame Trump on here. But we have not been treating these folks well for a long time. Now, one other thing that's super important though is that under Obama, we had less people under these conditions. Trump has now said, well, I don't want to release them. So since he's not releasing them, they're piling up in these detention centers. And one other reason why there's a lot more kids under these conditions today is not just because the family separation policy that Trump did earlier, but because the immigration situation is now more out of control under Trump than before. He said he was gonna fix it. And it's actually now at a record high number of undocumented immigrants crossing the border under Trump. People because he talks in such a vicious way, they give him a pass on the fact that there are more undocumented immigrants coming in now. But the reality is he said he was gonna fix it and he's done no such thing. All of his vicious talk did not work. It was vicious for the sake of viciousness, but not actually for the sake of effectiveness.
And again, it does show that there is a reason that these people are coming over, and that reason has grown. Their economic conditions, the negativity of those conditions has grown over time. So on a double basis, the Trump administration is not helping them to make that better, and they are taking away financing and economic help for things within their countries that could actually help benefit them on the ground. So his policy is actually negative beyond the border, negative beyond what's going on in terms of not supplying them with appropriate supplies to spend that time where they are. It goes to the root of him not wanting to help as a leader, the source of the economic distress of these people.
Yeah, and just to double down on the context that you added, both under Obama and now, we had at one point a spike in migrants crossing the border. Now it is justifiably higher. But with Donald Trump, it is a choice to hold on to these people. It is a choice to create overcrowding, perhaps in an attempt to justify the conditions you're holding them under. And we know that all of the barbarity that they're levying on these people is part of that is a part of a strategy. They want it to be monstrous to try to scare people outside of the US from coming in. This is not a situation that they're not adapting to quickly enough or a situation that they bungled. It is a situation that they are crafting by their own design. And in terms of the actual human toll, remember that just since September, 6 child migrants have died after falling ill at detention facilities. And you can understand how they would fall ill if they're being kept in conditions where they have no soap, obviously no medicine, forget about that, and they're sleeping in cold conditions with an aluminum sheet as a blanket.
On a concrete floor, yes. By the way, Ken Klibenstein broke another story for us. The number of deaths got so large that the Trump administration stopped counting. So NBC News reporting that 24 people overall, including the 6 kids, have died so far because of the miserable conditions that they are being kept in. And so that should inform your way of thinking about how bad the situation has gotten under Trump.
Yeah, and if you'd like more on Ken's reporting on how ICE is hiding that, you can go to youtube.com/thedamagereport where I interviewed him about it earlier this week.
Right, or go to tyt.com and you'll see all of our articles there, including Ken's piece on ICE.
That's fine, but TDR. Anyway.
2 easy ways to follow the Young Turks. One is hit the subscribe button down below, then you're a TYT subscriber. And second is ring the bell. And when you do that on YouTube, you're notified of our videos.